I would consider myself a lifelong plant-based, whole food, vegan. And along the way, I've learned a lot. What I've learned is you obviously have to give a lot. You said some important things about giving more than you take. That's really, really important. It's the only way this thing is going to survive. But as an optimistic person, my observations are very disheartening of how people who consider themselves vegans cohabitate with the rest of the, shall we say, scope of living a wholesome, holistic lifestyle. So I don't want to touch even upon things that were so obvious to me that what were shown during the pandemic and how vegans reacted to things and how they completely ignored anything related to immune system, and primarily from the vegan, that came from the vegan camp. And that really disappointed me. But I'll put that aside for a moment, because over the years, what I've seen is vegans are very myopic in the sense that it's either about animal rights or climate or, or fashion, or, it is a movement that is spiritually based in who you are. It's as important as your breath. It's as important as, going to sleep at night. So unless the movement elevates itself to I believe, a much higher vibration, it's kind of, a commoditized thing that corporations are using and people are buying into. A vegan is a revolutionary act. Stop the presses. We say no to so many things that are destroying this planet, destroying health. And we've got to be vocal about it. And we've got to be passionate. And we've got to be loving about it. So with that said, I'd like to get your take on some of my thoughts.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Joseph. Really, you're absolutely right. It is a journey that we are all on. We are all coming home to who we really are. That's the way I say it, because when I ask someone, would you deliberately hurt an innocent animal unnecessarily? Everyone says, no, you would never do that, which means in their heart, they're already vegan. Most people are born like that. And so this is why it's a journey home to who we are, but we are all at different stages in this journey. And it's up to us to help each other to get to that home plate, for all of us. So, it requires compassion. It requires knowing that everyone is in their own place, and that it's not up to us to judge them, but at the same time, it's up to us to point them to where they need to be, how they can improve and get over, and help get them to their destination.
Beautifully said. And if I may even add, I that's certainly my concern. When some folks out there may have read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, and he talks about the collective insanity that we're all a part of, right? So I guess, isn't that the ego? And it seems to me like that's the biggest thing we get to overcome, is this collective ego, to get on board with everything you've presented here today. And that's the challenge, that's the opportunity. But let's get on to our next question, and that is going to be Phineas. Hi, Phineas, welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, I muted you by accident. Phineas, there you go, welcome.
Hello. Also on that point, I really want to spread information about whole foods and bringing health to people. But I also don't want to cause them distress, especially if they feel like the food is inaccessible to them. So I don't know how to, I want to find a way. I'm wondering how to balance spreading that information and not hurting other people. Thank you.
Good question, Phineas. What we have been doing is to basically cook healthy meals and give it away to people who need it. So this way, they don't have to think about it. They just, when you say free food, everyone shows up and they eat it. And then they say, oh, it makes me feel good. I said, yeah, exactly. It makes you feel good when you eat healthy food. So then it becomes their own realization. Then they look at it and say, oh, there's not much to this. Yeah, it's not much to this. It's just putting some grains and some beans and some veggies together with some herbs and spices, and that's it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I also want to make sure we do have a few minutes left for Q&A. For those of you that aren't sure, and if you might have missed it, all you need to do to raise your hand is click on your reactions tab. Once you click on your reactions tab, a couple of emojis pop up. One of them says raise hand. You click on that and we will see your hand raised. And let's go now to Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
My question is there any website that we can go to for people to calculate their footprint?
Yeah, there are lots of them. I offhand, I can't tell you, but I can Google it and send you. I can send it to Steve and he can put it up on the website. Yeah.
That would be great.
There are lots of them actually on ecological footprint. Mostly, the CO2 footprint websites, there are water footprint websites. So we also need a land use footprint website. We need to look at all 4 of them. Energy use, right? So it's earth, air, fire, water. The 4 elements. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. And I see some folks are already starting to put some sites in the chat for that. If you want to take a look, Cheryl. And so let's go now to Jane. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Sailesh. Thank you for such a great presentation. I just wondered if you could give a little more information about World Food Healers Day. I think it's a brilliant idea. And I was wondering where you were holding the news conference to announce it. And are there any details so we can help spread the word?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the news conference is going to be held on Unchained TV on April 24th. And so please join Unchained TV, download their app and stay tuned. It's going to be there on that. And we're going to have Viga the cow during the news conference. She's coming over from the UK for this purpose. And thank you. We are creating all the marketing materials. And if you want to be a founding co-convener of World Food Healers Day, just send me a note and I can add you to that.
That's great. Thank you very much, Doctor. And at the moment, I don't have another raised hand. We have a few minutes left. And again, folks, if anybody wants to raise their hand, please do. Just click on your reactions tab, click on the raised hand function, and we'll see your hand come in. I'm curious. You have a new movie out, Milked, relatively new, right. and obviously a few more movies that are set to come out, I think, very soon, if I have that correct. I'm just wondering if you could share a little bit about some of those for our audience.
Yeah, so Milked is out. It is on WaterBear and it's on YouTube on the Plant-Based News channel. And we are going to have a screening of that during our convergence on April 30th and May 1st, and along with a Q&A with the producers. So you can meet the producers, talk to them. Chris Huriwa will be there and Amy Taylor will be there. So it's doing very well. I mean, it's very well done. I'm so proud of those people who put it together, Chris and Amy and Keegan. And we have The Land of Ahimsa, which will be released in August. We're planning at least to release it in August. And it is, I've seen it and I think it's dynamite. One of the best, that we have done. So I'm really looking forward to the impact that will have in India. It's mainly aimed at India and the dairy consumption in India.
Got it. Wow. Will that show up on Plant-Based News as well or elsewhere, or is it just going to be over on the?
We are looking at various ways of distributing, how to distribute that. The same with They're Trying to Kill Us. It was we tried to do a grassroots distribution initially. It didn't work out as well as they thought. So now they're looking at other options and how to distribute that. That's also a very powerful movie. Anyone who sees that, is moved by it.
Just like every other movie you've been a part of.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We do have a couple of more raised hands, so I'm going to go now to Ray. Welcome, Ray. Ray, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Rao. I follow your message, and it's always so hopeful for an environmental message that has, a clear path that doesn't require even a governmental cooperation as the mainstream of climate science, which clearly focuses on fossil fuels and a change to a renewable energy grid. Yours, empowers everybody to participate. And it's got such a clear understanding of our purpose as human beings, not as the anthropocentric villains, but as potentially the anthropocentric, the heroes of the Anthropocene. And would you talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, to me, it was a revelation, that I'm so grateful to my granddaughter for showing that to me when she was born. And she loves to play, and she loves to play these infinite games again. She never really wants to finish a game. Even when she was 2 or 3 years old, we would play shoots and ladders, and she would suddenly decide she wanted to go down a ladder and supposed to go up a ladder. So she would go up a shoot instead of down a shoot. So everything becomes a play, right? Everything becomes a play for her. And so letting nature play, and then we play with nature. So looking at it as play, as opposed to something very, very serious that we're doing in order to, climb on top of each other's shoulders and be the big cheese. Who's going to fall anyway? So it's one of those things, right? So you start looking at things from the perspective of nature, as nature being the one who's orchestrating all this. Then you realize we have been used. And, not only did I realize that we have been used, I felt like, please use me more. How can I be of service? How can I send this? How can I tell this story so that everyone hears it and understands that we are part of nature? We've always been a part of nature, and that the evidence is there now, right? That she has been doing something through us, which is to create homeostasis for all life on Earth. So the temperature will stay constant, no matter what the sun is doing, right? So it's like homeostasis for all life on Earth, as opposed to going to an ice age and coming out of an ice age, going to an ice age. If we keep doing that, it's a yo-yo thing that is not very good for life. So I saw that as this larger purpose that we have been born into. And then I saw the beauty of it and the tremendous intelligence that went into making this happen. Yeah. Because when I was looking at the temperature of the ice ages and coming out of the ice age and so on, it reminded me of what I was doing with the internet. Because when I was doing the internet, that's what happens. The 2 chips on either side are trying to lock to each other, and the clock goes up and down like that. And eventually when it locks, you can see it's stabilized, and then you can send data. Right? Until it locks, there is no data. That's what happened to my modem. And for 15 minutes, I couldn't get it to lock because there was something going on the line. And finally it locked, and here we are, so I could make this presentation. So it reminded me of that, so that's really what we have been doing with nature. We are playing a game, and nature has been playing a game with us. And eventually now she's saying, wake up, you're done with that phase. Now you have to become serious about this.